Welcome, Mr. Carlos Rosas, our today's guest, an expert teacher from Mexico holding different English language certifications such as TOEFL, PET, FCE, and TKT. You know, he was a University of Cambridge ICT certification coordinator and robotics coordinator for secondary schools, robotics coordinator in different schools, and he was the headmaster, Microsoft coordinator, English language university professor, vocal and music instrument teacher. Well, there are many more. So, Mr. Carlos, welcome. Welcome once again.
What a presentation. Thanks so much. It's too much text there, but I'm so happy to be here.
This is Rauf. This is Rauf.
Sorry, I was just to say, Carlos, it's okay.
Carlos, okay. This is Rauf from India, and I'm an international online English coach, professional English trainer. I'm really glad to talk with you for a few minutes. So, I suppose you have achieved a lot in your life in the case of linguistics, technology, music, and sports education. So how did you achieve these great things?
Well, at the beginning, I would like to say, Rolf, what I feel even more excited than usual when I talk to someone else is that we really don't know each other. This is the first time that we really exchange some comments, and I'm so happy about this because all the questions and all the talk that we are going to have, it's completely original. It's completely real. So for all the audience we could have, believe us, this is the first time, the very first time we're exchanging. So we haven't had prepared these kind of things. So answering your first question, how is this achievement going on? Well, I'm a strong believer about God's situation and all these relationship with God and all these spiritual things. So I want to say the truth. What is the first thing coming to my mind about it is because of God, and then because of the support of my family. Okay, that is why I strongly believe. Then I feel that I'm a convinced person that if you maybe, in life, we used to call some things about attitude and about aptitude. So when you were gone and when you decided to go even further than that you believe is your maximum power, but you decided to go further and going beyond and try to do it, and maybe with failures, but anyway, you are doing attempts and once again, I think that maybe the talent it's going to be how can I say it, because I don't want to sound like, oh wow, what a fluffy person. No, but the talent is going to stop right here, but the conviction and the dedication is going to be even upper, and then it's going to be the most important thing, not only the talent. So I can say, summarizing my answer, is because of conviction, because I have even believed that I can do even more things that I used to be able to do. So that's my answer. I'm sorry if I got a little bit longer than usual.
All right. Thank you so much for your detailed description about this particular question. Anyway, moving on to your, what was the major inspiration? Every legend or every leader or every achievement there, you know, behind an inspiration or a motivation. So, what was the major motivation to do all these things? And is there anyone behind it or any incident? You worked in Cambridge University, and
Yeah.
you worked for Microsoft, and you worked as a robotic
Yes.
technician or coordinator.
Yeah.
So you worked in several areas. So
Yeah.
that's why I ask you. So what was the major inspiration?
Okay. Well, let's talk about two different things in my life, because I believe I have lived two different main moments on it. Okay, so here in the Americas, and for sure in America and United States, and some other. I mean, maybe it's just talk about myself, but maybe in the worldwide we are living these kind of conditions about some racism. You understand that? So I am not completely a black skin person, but I'm not a white one. Okay, so you can watch my skin color. So I suffered lots of bully. Okay, since I was a kid, and I didn't want to show to the world that, oh my God, I was suffering, and now I'm going to show the world that I'm completely able to do all the things that the people told about that I was not going able to do because of my color, because things like that. I felt that like a motivation, but that was like a reaction. In my family, I have always had all the support you can imagine. Okay, so my father, my mother, they were always my first encouragement people that you can do it, you can do it. Come on, do you like this? Do you want to try volleyball? Go get it. Do you want to try basketball, baseball? Do you want to try swimming? Do you want to try karate? Karate? Okay, go get it. I receive all this kind of support. We are not rich people, but all my family has worked too much to get all the things that we can have now. Um, uh, my father is an old man. He is 88 years old right now. So I am 34 years old right now. So now you can realize about the age difference between us. Okay. When I was born, my father has just retired. So imagine he was completely dedicated to me. And I'm a single son, so I'm the unique son. So I got all the attention, and all the spotlights were focused on me, and try to they were always trying to take me to the things that I really like, and in which I can develop all the needs, all the likes on my side. So what is the main reason? I can say my father's motivation. My father, my mother, all my family always has been pushing me up. Okay. But that happened, I think, until 16 years old. All right. Mm, just a moment. I'm gonna come back a little bit just for you finalize so understand what I'm trying to explain about my family. I was born on 1987. Okay, 1987. At that time, the technology was just coming up. You understand? It was not so easy to have a computer. It was not so common to get internet access. You know, we use these old modem connection through the telephone line and things like that. Yeah. And if you want to have internet access at the time, you need to forget about your phone line during the time you were connected to internet. Well, it was expensive. Well, my father decided to, okay, I'm going to pay this equipment. I'm going to buy a computer. I'm going to sign you up, son, to a computer course, a special computer course when I was a child. You understand? So all my classmates, yeah, even the richer than me, yeah, they were not so immersed in this kind of, you know, stuff. Let's talk like that. They were not so immersed in this kind of stuff because of the interests for all of them. Maybe were play no video games because there were not so much video games at a time, but playing some other sports or going to some other activities, you know, and not my case. I was always dedicated to study and keep learning new things since as far as I remember. And that, well, that's for finishing the first part of my motivation, you know. And for the second part, it's going to be easy to say, but really hard to understand. But at the age of 17 years old, 16 to 17 years old, I was diagnosed cancer. Okay. And forgive me if you feel that my voice is getting breaking down. But every time I remember this situation, impact directly to my speech. Okay. And so I want to say this completely changed my life because, you know, cancer situation, well, changes everything. And no matter how strong you are or how rich or how poor or how whatever you want to say, terrific cancer was going on inside of me, and it was so fast. In the meantime, I couldn't walk, I couldn't breathe by myself. I need some oxygen. That was so fast. In, I don't know, less than a year, I was in the final stage of the cancer situation. This cancer was on my right testicle. Then this tumor created several tumors on my stomach and in my lungs. So all my life changed. Yeah. After these moments, because I received from God a second opportunity to live and to keep living. You know, I told you it was easy to say, it's so complex, but if I get immersed of all details, we are going to keep talking during the next 3 days. And that's not the
Yeah.
point right now,
So thank you
but
so much
yeah,
for
that
the
was,
clarification. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Well done. So your father greatly influenced in your life. Indeed. Yeah. I can read your heart. Thank you
both
so much
fathers,
for, yeah.
I mean, from heaven and from earth.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There'll be divinity behind everything. So I truly
Exactly.
believe that.
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you worked in several schools. So how long have you been working as a teacher? Still, are you working any school or any institution? Can you please?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a variety of school. At the moment, I'm the headmaster of a languages center, but at the same time, I really love to teach. So I always place myself in front of a group. Yeah. Uh, because as I told you, I really like to teach, and I really like to teach how to teach, because since you know, 14 years old, or when I was 13 years old, I began teaching music. Yeah, I learned how to play guitar, and then I decided to, okay, I need to generate some money because I would like to have another guitar. So how can I do it? Well, teaching classes. So I began teaching music. Yeah, and always, as far as I remember, I really like to teach. And so, in a formal way, we can say since 2012, since 2012, and I'm still currently teaching, and that's it.
Well, so, teaching is hard. At the same time, it is quite art, heart and art.
Yeah.
So, every teacher enjoys their life in school or college. So, can you please explain your experience in schools and how did you enjoy your profession?
Yeah, well, in education process, we should always consider that we are treating with human beings, okay? And human beings are completely sensitive, you know? Um, you have to deal with all these conditions, yours and the other ones, okay? So what I'm trying to say is the most beautiful aspect in education is the possibility to transmit and not only teach, but touch at the same time the lives of all the people who are there at the moment. Yeah, because all of them, no matter the age, because I have been working, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years old kids. And I remember I had a student, maybe he's the oldest one that I taught, 76, and he was studying to acquire his PhD, okay, on biology, things like that. It was a super brainy person. Um, and no matter the age, all of them are living situations, complex situations. They come to you with all these things, and then you can touch their lives, not only with the knowledge about what you are teaching to them. These things, all the things you are teaching to them, are going to impact directly in the possibility to change the problems, the situations, the advantages or disadvantages they are living in that moment. So, what is this? I don't know. I think you are understanding me that it's not only teaching, if not touching.
Well, it's quite amazing. So, you know, everyone has his or her own dream, maybe started from childhood. So, what was your dream when you were a child or a schoolboy?
Oh my Lord, such a great question. Uh, I I remember at the beginning of my dreams, I wanted to be an astronaut. Yeah, and I remember one of the junior high school professor, yeah, told me, "Huh, an astronaut. That is going to be impossible for you. How are you there to think about that? Do you want to know what do you need to be an astronaut? I'm going to show you." That's what I'm telling you, you know? Maybe that professor was traumatized or was in an angry moment or was, I don't know what happened there. But he smashes the reality on my face at that moment. Yeah. And I say, oh Lord, I hate this guy. But at the same time, I think, well, maybe he's telling me the truth. Maybe I have some other talents, not because if it's not because it was going to be impossible to me, that maybe, yeah, but no, it's because my reality at that moment showed to me that, okay, not an astronaut, but what about to teach astronauts, doctors, teachers, engineers, architects, politicians, the world leaders? I would like to be this guy. So I want to be the professor of the other professors and push all the people to do their best and then impact to the world. And I'm going to be even more important than an astronaut because I'm going to be teaching all of the professions. That was it.
All right. You are very much interested in, passionate about
Yeah.
sports. And
Yeah.
what sports do you like the most, and who are your favorite sports stars?
Oh, God. Well, if you let me go, I'm going to tell you about a story, the sports story in my life. It's good enough. I really love it, but I'm going to explain you why. I told you at the beginning that my father was a really old man. Okay, so he is from the old school, and I don't know exactly how is the kind of education of old school on your side, but here in my side, all people were to be so strict. Yeah. So my father was so hard to me, and he had been a super basketball star when he was younger and super baseball star when he was younger and a good soccer player when he was younger. So he had been so much successfully on his life. So now imagine the pressure I had to be compared to him, you know? So my father always, as told you, dedicated to me. So, you want to play this? Okay. Oh, and I had my special trainer, my special coach, and no, 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 no. My father wanted to correct even the teachers and the trainers. You understand this? So I was deciding to move to, to some sports in which my father hadn't been so much perfect because at that time and at that moment my father wouldn't be able to say something because he was not an expert on that field, you understand? And that's the reason I finished my sport, my youth, my teenager stage in sports in karate, karate do, Shotokan style. Yeah, my father have never been practicing any kind of martial art. So my favorite sport for consequence was the karate. Okay. And the time I play baseball, volleyball, basketball, swimming, as I told you. And that is it. My favorite sport is karate. I was good enough, I can say it. I participate in different championships, and I was the winner. I was the champion during 4 years in a row. So I really like karate. Okay. And my
Well,
favorite star at the moment, I don't know, I can tell you now, I really love soccer. Yeah. And but I am not so sophisticated. Messi. I like Messi. I'm a Barcelona fan, and things like that. I'm so much ordinal about it. You too.
well,
Okay, that's nice.
so every country has their own national sport or game. For
Mhm.
example, China, table tennis, and
Yep.
for India, it is cricket, hockey, and for Australia is cricket, and for Pakistan it is same hockey. For for America it might be maybe basketball. So every country they have their own national sport or game. So what about your country, Mexico? Your national sport or game?
Absolutely. Football, soccer.
Oh,
Absolutely.
football. Okay. Can
Yeah,
you please
yeah.
name uh popular football players in your country, Mexico?
Popular. Well, Hugo Sanchez, who was a Real Madrid soccer player. Maybe he has been in the, I don't know, maybe the best. Depends on the position, because we have also have Rafael Marquez. Okay, Rafa Marquez, he was a Barcelona soccer player. He won Champions League championships and all the trophies you can imagine. But he was defense. Okay, a defense. So the defensive position, they're not so popular than the strikers. The strikers are even more famous. So in order, and talking about the strikers, we can also have Chicharito, Javier Hernandez, who was a Manchester United soccer player, and then even a Real Madrid player. And now he's not the best one, it's not in the best conditions, but there is not also another player. Well, I can say some others like Andres Guardado, like I don't know. At the moment, I'm not. Cuauhtemoc Blanco. He was a very popular soccer player in our country, and right now, he is even Puebla. I don't remember the state of the
Yeah.
Mexican Republic, but now he's a politician. So imagine how famous he is in Mexico that people
Yeah.
decide to give him the opportunity to be a governor without
Yeah, it is
studies
quite
because.
it is quite happening in India too.
Oh,
Some of the
really?
retired cricket players or soccer players
Well,
turn
exactly.
into, they moved on to the politics or film industry. That's a great
Yeah.
opportunity for them.
Well, really similar
You
here.
know, you know, former, former cricketer Kapil Dev not Kapil Dev, one player, Virendra Sehwag, and he became the member of parliament. And the Sachin Tendulkar again, he so they are moving faster to the politics. So there is no boundary for them.
Wow.
After the
Uh,
retired, they are choosing such kinds of
yes, yes.
professional area. Like, people admire them. It's, influencing. So,
But let me ask you something, okay? About that. I would like to know the point of view, yeah, about it, your point of view, because in my case, I think the popularity should not be the reason to be elected. What do you think about it?
so sorry. Can you repeat, sir?
Yeah, sure. I was saying that I would like to know your point of view about this, because I consider the popularity of a person does not, I don't know how to say it, but I think it's not enough to be
Yeah.
elected as a politician.
Yes, a person can travel in different areas such as, politics, film industry, journalism, or teaching, anything. So people can travel easily or they can voyage. So it is based on our talent, our skills, our keen desire. If we have strong desire to do something, we can achieve anything. So everything is based on our strong interest. So let me move on to the next part, that language is very important as far as communication is concerned. A language is very, very important. It plays a crucial role in communication. So let me ask you, how many languages can you speak, and how did you learn? these languages?
Okay, well, mainly I speak Spanish for sure because I have lived in Mexico. I was born here. Then English, then French, then German, some Italian, but mainly these ones. And how come all these situations? Wow, life, life during all the life. For example, the English. Okay, I was born here in Mexico, but then I used to live some years in USA when I was a kid, and then I returned when I was older. But okay, anyway, so I have lots of relatives in United States, for example, and some others in United Kingdom, and some others in Canada. So this relationship with these relatives makes me feel like I need it. Yeah. So my father also knew it, and then he talked to my mother, and my mother said, "Okay, well, we are going to get a special English trainer for him at 6 years old or 5 years old. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, so that was happening with the English. So I have been co-living with the English all the life. Then French. What happened with the French? Well, I had the opportunity to go at the beginning as a tourist, but later on as an interpreter to Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay, and then I realized, because at that moment I was like, oh my God, I speak English very well, so I'm not going to have any kind of trouble to have any conversation with someone else. Okay. But that was the first time I traveled to Europe. And what was my surprise? That in Europe, even young people like me, yeah, speak more than one or two or three languages. So when I returned to Mexico after a while in Europe, I say, oh Lord, no, Spanish and English were not enough. I want to be like the other people that I met over there. So I started learning French with my neighbor. My neighbor was a French professor in a very close university to my home. And I was my neighbor, and I say, well, you are French, because he is French. His name is Thomas Boussard. And I say, oh, can I teach you English? And can you teach me French? And that moment, we decided to exchange the languages learning. Okay, and we have less than a minute. We're going to consume all the time, or we can cut now and go back.
Yeah, it will be ending now. Not ending, but just a breaking disconnection. So after this disconnection, you can rejoin by clicking the same link. So we'll be
Okay.
joining faster. So
Okay.
I was about to ask you the same question, or related, about your professional landing to the English language, or for being a professional English trainer, and your motivation behind this
Okay.
about learning English. So you answered all these things in in the question that I asked before. So
Okay.
anyway, moving on to pronunciation.